is called Lux forceps. So first of all, we have to see the edges. These are very sharp edges. The uses of Lux forceps is basically it is used for taking biopsy of any nasal mass, any oral cavity mass. We do not have to confuse it with tonsil holding forceps. So the difference between Lux forceps and tonsil holding forceps are, first of all, it's a box joint, screw joint. This is a screw joint and it is a box joint. Second, see the edges. One part is going inside the other part. Can you see? This is going inside the other. But here they will oppose. They will completely oppose each other. Nothing will go inside. Right? So this is how you differentiate Lux forceps and tonsil holding forceps. So this is Tilly's nasal packing forceps. So as the name suggests, this is used for nasal packing. So basically, before the nasal surgery, we need to decongest the nasal cavity, which is done by using adrenaline or lignocaine plus adrenaline nasal packs. So with the help of this instrument, we can take that nasal pledget and put it inside the nasal cavity. This is Vienna's self-retaining nasal speculum. Okay. This is used for nasal surgeries. For example, septoplasty, submucosal resection. Right? So like this, we hold the instrument, and between the nasal ala and the septum, we insert it and hold it like this, and then this can be self-retained at what position we like. And between this space, we do the surgery. For example, nasal packing or any septoplasty, submucosal resection. This is Mollison's self-retaining hemostatic mastoid retractor. So we have to focus on the names. Self-retaining. At whatever position we like, it will stay here, and we do not need to waste any of our hand. So it will fix like this at any position we like. These two ends, these are sharp, and these help in, as the name suggests, hemostatic. So it will stop the bleeding because it compresses the vessels. Basically, the uses of mastoid retractor are in all the ear surgeries like tympanoplasty, mastectomy, general surgeries like tracheostomy, neck surgeries, even in thyroidectomies. This can be used, and in TMJ encapsulations. This is Farabaug's periosteal elevator. See the edge. So after basically, this is also again used in mastoid surgeries, tympanoplasty surgeries, basically ear surgeries. So after giving the incision, to raise the soft tissue or the periosteum from the bone, we use this instrument. We rub it against the bone. If my hand is bone, it is rubbing against the bone, so that only the bone is, whole of the bone is exposed, and all of the soft tissue has been retracted and pushed anterior. So next is direct laryngoscope. See, so we have Dido's laryngoscope, Glenn-Saucer laryngoscope. So we need to know what are the indications of direct laryngoscopy. Direct laryngoscopy is used to assess the larynx, to look in the hidden areas of the larynx which we cannot see in indirect laryngoscopy. We should all be aware what are the hidden areas of larynx. After assessment, this instrument is again used for taking the biopsy of any suspected lesion, suspected of malignancy or any other thing. Through the direct laryngoscope, we insert the biopsy forceps with which we take a biopsy. Right? We should know the difference between indirect laryngoscopy, direct laryngoscopy. And another thing, it has to be used from our left hand side. We insert it from the left hand side, and all the procedures like taking biopsy or any other thing, that is to be done from the right side. Esophagoscope. So esophagoscope, again, it has diagnostic uses, therapeutic uses, and what is the procedure for esophagoscopy. First of all, the patient has to be put in a voice position.
Supine position.
Supine position or voice position. So it will not be like the rose position, which is extension. It will be extension and flexion. Okay. So this port is used for light. Prism is inserted here, and through this LED light can be used, which gets focused into the esophagus. And the above port, both the things we have to see also through this port, and the instrumentation also is done through the same port. Diagnostic uses are dysphagia under evaluation, hematemesis, GERD, or any stricture. Therapeutic indications are also there. For example, most commonly foreign body removal, biopsy of any lesion, stricture dilation. The bronchoscope. So as we discussed, it has one extra port for ventilation, and we can see, and in bronchoscope there is one extra port for ventilation. This is bronchoscope. Again, it is to be inserted in voice position. We have discussed the three outlets and the
इसमें मार्किंग होते हैं, उसमें मार्किंग नहीं थी.
esophageoscope has markings.
ये तो छोटा वाला है, इसमें pediatric वाला.
Bronchoscope does not have markings, so we have to identify it with the two eyes and one extra ventilation port. So bronchoscopy is done in the same position like esophagoscopy, in voice position. Diagnostic uses and therapeutic uses. So the diagnostic uses will be to look for cause of hemoptysis, any chronic cough, stridor, or any hilar lymphadenopathy. It has therapeutic indications also, which include any removal of foreign body, any ablation of malignancy, or even stents for dilation of airways.